math used in photography. Photography may seem like an art driven by creativity, but at its core, it relies on mathematical principles to capture the perfect image. From adjusting exposure to composing a balanced shot, mathematics helps photographers control light, focus, and proportions to create visually stunning photographs. Let's explore the role of math in photography. Photography uses math in aperture and exposure control. The size of the camera's aperture is measured in f-stops, which follow a geometric sequence, e.g. f1.4, f2, f2.8. Each stop either doubles or halves the amount of light entering the lens, following a logarithmic pattern. Understanding these values helps photographers adjust brightness and depth of field. Shutter speed and motion blur. Shutter speed, measured in fractions of a second, e.g. 1000s, 1500s, 1250s, determines how long light hits the camera sensor. Fast shutter speeds freeze motion, while slower ones create blur. The relationship between speed and light follows an inverse proportionality rule. ISO and light sensitivity. ISO settings control a camera's sensitivity to light. ISO values follow a doubling pattern, e.g. 100, 200, 400, 800, where each step increases brightness but also introduces digital noise. Mathematically, it follows exponential growth. Rule of thirds in composition. The rule of thirds divides an image into a 3x3 grid, guiding photographers to place key subjects along these lines or intersections. This principle is based on proportions that enhance balance and visual appeal. Focal length and depth of field. The focal length of a lens, e.g. 50mm, 85mm, determines how much of a scene is captured and how background blur, bokeh, is achieved. The depth of field depends on an equation involving aperture size, subject distance, and focal length. Mathematical principles applied, geometric sequences in f-stops control the amount of light entering the camera. Inverse proportions in shutter speed and brightness affect exposure. Exponential growth in ISO values manages light sensitivity and noise levels. Proportionality and symmetry in the rule of thirds enhance composition. Optical formulas in focal length calculations determine image sharpness and background blur. From exposure adjustments to artistic composition, mathematics is embedded in photography, enabling photographers to capture light, motion, and perspective with precision and creativity.